We are at the Tri-Palms Estates here in Thousand Palms. A motorist got caught up in the wash area, as you can see behind us here, actually the golf course area that is flooded out right now. Chris, it is windy out here in Desert Hot Springs, and as you can see, the brush here is as dry and brittle as can possibly be. Andy, I hate to bring the bad news, but the worst air in the nation blankets the Inland Empire. Right now here, regular unleaded is going for $3.43 a gallon. But as you mentioned, as you head further east down I-10. Good evening, Chris. We are here in Beverly Hills tonight at the Beverly Hilton, where we are awaiting the arrival of Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's expected to arrive here at about 8 o'clock tonight. A Santa Rosa surfer today survived an attack by a great white shark off the Sonoma County coastline. Witnesses say the 14-foot shark grabbed the woman from behind. Well, if you celebrate Christmas, chances are you probably have some ornaments on the tree or in different places around the house. And joining us this morning to talk a little bit about how to make ornaments is Dave Strawbridge from the Home Depot in Rancho Mirage. Great to see you this morning, Dave.
Merry Christmas, Tom.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks. And Merry Christmas to you, too. You have some neat stuff set up here this morning. Let's talk about it.
Welcome back. Fed up with illegal immigration and the problems it can create, a Palm Springs man tonight is fighting back. He is pushing his own boycott, which he calls a week without a Mexican. His turn. CBS 2's Tom Tucker live in Palm Springs with more on this. Tom, you're still dining.
Good evening, Chris. I am dining. I'm at Las Casuelas restaurant here in downtown Palm Springs. You know, it was a couple of weeks ago in which we saw that day without an immigrant, a day in which millions of illegal aliens decided not to show up for work, but instead attended some of these demonstrations and protests around the country. Well, now a Palm Springs man wants to turn the tables. He's calling for a boycott next week of all things Mexican, including chips and salsa.
You want to join us in boycotting Mexico for a week?
A legal immigrant from Russia, 60-year-old Palm Springs resident Alex Yaron, is targeting those who are in the United States illegally.
The whole purpose is to make a point that there are the significant proportion of the population of the U.S. does not agree with illegal immigration. I think it should be stopped.
Handing out his flyers in front of the Palm Springs post office Friday, Yaron is calling for a boycott. He calls it a week without a Mexican.
I think it's time for us to demonstrate that we too have strong opinions on this by boycotting Mexico for a week.
Many of the postal customers Yaron talked to reacted positively to his campaign, and more than a few offered stinging criticism of how elected leaders are handling the immigration issue.
We need Mary Bono to wake up in the entire Senate, or else we will vote them out.
With his boycott, Alex Yaron wants citizens to avoid anything that looks like or sounds like it's from Mexico. That includes any Mexican-owned business, Mexican workers, and Mexican food, including chips and salsa.
My idea of fixing it would be to secure the borders and then deal with the people that's in here. But if you start dealing with the people that are in here and not secure the borders, we're wasting our time.
Now again, Alex Yaron is a one-man campaign. He says he'll be back at the Palm Springs post office Monday morning beginning at 10:30, and his boycott runs next week, Monday through Friday. Reporting live in Palm Springs, Tom Tucker for CBS 2, the Desert's news station. Chris, back to you.
Tom, you filed your last report for the night. Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you very much.
But let's begin right now by going live to Beverly Hills, where CBS 2's Tom Tucker is standing by at the governor's Republican headquarters. Tom?
Good evening, Chris. We are here in Beverly Hills tonight at the Beverly Hilton, where we are awaiting the arrival of Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's expected to arrive here at about 8 o'clock tonight. Right now, nothing but media here, a very large contingent. Let's go ahead and roll the footage and take a look at what was happening in Brentwood this morning, where Governor Schwarzenegger and his wife Maria cast their own ballots in this special election. It is the 6th statewide vote in just the past 3.5 years. The governor out pushing 4 reform initiatives, including 74, 75, 76, and 77. He's been busy up to the very last minute, going up and down the state of California yesterday, visiting various Republican strongholds. Now, also today in Brentwood, an anti-Arnold Schwarzenegger rally led by the insurance commissioner John Garamendi and also Hollywood producer Rob Reiner, all speaking out against Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger and his reform initiatives. Now, this initiative campaign is the most expensive in state history, already costing more than $250 million being raised and been spent on both sides. Again, a number of issues tonight, 8 measures that voters will be deciding, and again, polls are open until 8 o'clock tonight. Now, that is it from here in Beverly Hills. We'll continue to follow developments here, and we'll be checking in with you, Chris, off and on throughout the night. Live in Los Angeles, Tom Tucker reporting for CBS 2, the Desert's news station.
As many of our viewers do, the governor was unable to get his reform ideas through the state legislature in Sacramento. I hope you can hear me. So he had no choice, he felt, but go to the people. And you have to wonder, if the 4 props he backs don't make it, what is the governor's next step?
Well, it's certainly a good question, Chris. Big Labor, they are the primary opposition to the governor's reform measures. Labor leaders saying this special election is unnecessary, uncalled for, and they call it a waste of money. And as we mentioned in recent days, these propositions all trailing in the polls. And if you believe the polls, they indicate that those measures the governor's pushing will all go down to defeat tonight. But we will certainly find out whether or not those polls are accurate sometime after 8 o'clock.
Price for a gallon of regular unleaded is just under $4.65 a gallon. CBS 2's Tom Tucker visited the station in Desert Center today. He is live right now in Palm Desert with more. Tom.
Hi, Andy. We're out here at the mobile gas station on Cook Avenue in Palm Desert, where here they are paying $3.43 for a gallon of regular unleaded gas. But as you mentioned, a little further east down I-10 in Desert Center, you don't want to gas up there because you will pay nearly $4.65 a gallon. There it was in big red numbers at the Stanco gas station in Desert Center. Regular unleaded for $4.64 9/10 of a cent per gallon.
It's absurd. It's sick.
Matt Blaskowski was in the unenviable position of needing to gas up after pulling off Interstate 10. With a U-Haul in tow and his girlfriend following in another car, they were not prepared for what they saw at this station.
I'm in the desert, and I don't know, I got no gas. Gas is $5 a gallon. Where else is it $5 a gallon? Just here?
The Stanco is the only station in Desert Center, and the next place to buy gas eastbound is 48 miles away in Blythe. What's that? Talk to your boss. We approached the station attendant to ask why the price was so high, but he gave us the hand and told us to talk to the owner, who was nowhere to be found. For a number of other drivers who pulled up at the pumps, the price was more than they were willing to pay, and they drove off without buying a drop.
I want to leave here and go elsewhere.
Are you going to?
I am going to.
At
almost $5 a gallon, that's gouging.
For a comparison, 20 miles to the west in Shereko Summit, regular unleaded was selling for a much more reasonable $3.61 a gallon. Now, one analyst I talked to today says gas that is shipped out here to our area from Colton, we pay on average an extra 7 cents per gallon to get that gas here to the desert. Now, for Desert Center, they pay an extra 10 cents per gallon. So apparently he has a pretty wide profit margin there. Now, the analyst also said right now, as I almost get run over, says right now the best place to buy gas, at least at this time, is the brand name stations like Shell, Exxon Mobil, etc., because right now the independents have to pay the oil companies on average 30 cents more per gallon to buy their gas. They pass that gas, or rather that cost, right now on to us. Reporting live in Palm Desert, Tom Tucker for CBS 2, the Desert's news station. Back to you.